Hi fam! How are we? I hope everyone's okay. Sending so much love. So I'm gonna totally steal this from a program somewhere back in the day. But basically, what I'm going to call my love cup. My love cup overflows right now, and I want to send that vibe back out to everyone everywhere that needs it. Because there is no greater feeling than knowing that someone loves you and everyone deserves to be loved. Everyone is worthy of love. So, sending all that love. And as usual, it's been a chaotic 24 hours in the world. So the first thing is the colonial pipeline that I'm going to talk about. Now, I mentioned this yesterday, and when I was doing the video, I said, oh, wouldn't it be a coincidence if it was part of the Koch brothers? But it is. And they're spawn of the devil. So, here's the thing. Well, there's several things actually. So, firstly, you have to understand who they are, the people that own this. And they're not very nice people. Then you also have to understand about what's going on in the market. Because I've been watching the Bloomberg TV. They know I love them. So much love. So there's several things to consider. There's obviously the climate change that's going on, issues that we're all aware of. And there's climate change legislation coming in. And people that are involved in oil and gas know it will end. Okay? So what this pipeline issue has done is driven prices up, oil prices up. And who benefits? The Koch brothers. Okay? As well as causing widespread panic for no reason. And when you look into the people that are the hackers, who, by the way, let's just regardless of what you think about, firstly, it isn't Russia. Let's just make this distinction. It's not Russia, it's not Putin, it's a gang of hackers that are based in Russia, for one. So let's not go with it's the same thing with the lab in China, but it's actually funded not from China. So let's just get that straight, so everyone stops any kind of Russia hating from the get-go. These people are so intelligent. They deserve absolute respect. Let's not forget that. Regardless of what they have or haven't done, they are very intelligent people. And they're trying to just make money in a difficult time. That's the way that they've chosen it, right? Rightly or wrongly. The more important question, because they're called dark side, right? Dark side hackers. And they've even come out and said, we didn't mean to cause this chaos. And what they do, if you look into dark side, is they provide ransomware as a service. Right, see, these guys, dark side are really an intelligent group of people, regardless of the criminality of it. They're a very intelligent group of people because they manage to hack into systems, right? The more important question is, who paid them to do it? That's actually the more important question. Who are their customers? Who are the people that are paying them to hack into infrastructure systems? Right? That's the more important question. And when you then also factor in that the people themselves whose system has been hacked are going to benefit from the hacking, because it's going to cause this widespread panic, everyone's going to buy, prices are going to go up, and who benefits? The pipeline, the people who own the pipeline, the Koch brothers. And they also know that climate change is a big thing. These bills are coming in. Everyone's going EV. So ultimately, in the long run, their business is just going to decline. So then you have to think, well, who did it then? Who has most to gain from that hacking? Well, they do themselves. And then you got to think, dark side, this hacking group, people should come to the light side. If this ever gets seen by anyone from dark side, come to the light. And I'll tell you why. Because cybersecurity right now is a massive deal. Think about how many cybersecurity issues there's been in the last 14 months, 16 months. How many systems have been broken into? How much data has been mined, edited, changed? They've already had the one with the governmental system. We've had ones over here. It's not going to be the only ones. Those are just the ones we know about. So cybersecurity should be along with various other things, but it should be at the absolute top of any business of their discussions in boardrooms and C-suites. Because if you are dealing with customer data, and if your business is in any way critical to the functioning of a country, cybersecurity should be at the top of your priority list in terms of making sure that your software and your systems are impenetrable. And the way you do that is you hire hackers to constantly test your systems and your software. And who better than DarkSide? So to DarkSide, I would say, come to the light, innit? Like, you'll make more money right now hacking as a paid hacker to test everyone else's systems and find the flaws and find the risks and give the solutions that you would do in what you're doing right now as ransomware as a service. And not only that, who are you working for? Do you know what I mean? And I know it's money and people are desperate right now. And I know that. But whoever they are, DarkSide, whoever those people are, they will have family, they will have friends, they will have children. And like everyone else, if they want a future for those, then the kinds of people that are going to be paying you to do your ransom as a service are only the ones that want to destroy it. And that's just straight truth. And you'll earn so much more as white hat hackers. So much more. The cybersecurity should be at the priority of every business everywhere right now. If you give a shit. If you give a shit about the customer's data that you hold, if you give a shit about the infrastructure that you support, then you should be paying hackers to constantly hack your systems to find the problems, to find the gaps, to find the ways in, and give you the patches for that. So, as wrong as it is, they are highly intelligent people to have been able to do it. But the more important question, as I said, is always, who are their customers? Who are the people that are paying them to do it? And to cause widespread panic buying, increases the price, who benefits? The people that own the pipeline. It's not rocket science. So, yeah, that was that. And also, if the US want Russia to help them with DarkSide, then the US needs to stop being a bully and stop putting sanctions on Russia. Everyone right now, every country right now is in the wrong. Make no mistake about it. So any one person thinking they're better than the other is a joke. It is a straight joke. So you may as well just let it go. Because if you think about the fucking corruption and lies and discrimination that's just going on within each individual country, for a start. There's lots of good things as well, don't get me wrong, and I'll go into those in a minute. But there is also all of those bad things within each individual country. and to then start throwing stones is a joke. You can't throw, make sure your own hands, make sure your house is clean before you start throwing stones at other people. You can't. You just can't. Literally just can't. Because it's a joke. And Putin, regardless of what other people think, I actually quite like it. I think he's funny. I've just watched some videos. Yeah, he is funny. I'll show you some jokes. He's actually funny. And I like funny people. And I see through the bullshit. And he made a great comment. There's a British reporter trying to have a go at him, and he was like, "I don't really think that UK can call us anything. We're angels in comparison," and that is so true. It is true. Yeah, it is true. So I've got some videos. I've got some videos of Putin. I think he's a ledge, actually. Personally, that's just my feeling. And the media machine, the propaganda machine, is just trying to start a war. And with China as well, same thing. China makes and sells 50% of the world's electric vehicles. They're so far ahead in dealing with climate change. It's a joke, but you don't hear that anywhere else. All you hear is Xinjiang. Do you know what they've also done? They've built an entire motorway through a fucking desert. They've built a green wall to stop a desert from encroaching on that. Like, come on. They're doing amazing things. And the only reason that slave labor exists in China is because UK, well, probably UK as well, actually, but US companies are outsourcing to suspect companies. And that isn't China as a whole. That's just that specific company who is prepared to take the risks and employ underage people and pay people shit wage. That's the onus is on that company, not the whole country, not into individual people from China or Asia, as a whole. It's that specific company that is prepared to do that. And the only reason they are is because there is such a demand from the US to outsource their manufacturing to China for the cheap labour. So whose fault is it? Well, it's everyone's, really, because it's the companies for doing it. It's the US for sending their manufacturing there rather than pay actual wage to US people from the US, rather than having the manufacturing there to pay people a living wage. Yeah, they don't want to pay Americans to do Americans' jobs for American companies. They want to save as much money as they can because they're capitalists and they're greedy as fuck, and they want to send it somewhere where, to a specific company where somebody's equally as greedy. And then it's all of our fault because we're all buying the products that are part of that chain. Yeah. So no one person is worse than the other. And this whole media madness, trying to bully, tell lies, tell a story that isn't the true story about Russia and about China particularly. It's just got to stop. It's got to stop. because war of any kind is an absolute waste of time. It's destructive. It ruins lives. It ruins towns. It ruins cities. You're bombing. What's going on in Israel right now? Like, please, my thoughts go out to the Palestinians and people in Afghanistan. All of those countries there are on the brink again. For what reason? There should not be any circumstance where the result is, I'm going to bomb you. It's just so illogical. They're destroying their own countries, their own towns, where they're just bombing. Like, how does that make sense? They're killing their own people. They're destroying their own cities. They're bombing all these buildings. Everything's destroyed. What? Why would you do that? Killing people, killing children. For what? For what reason? What could possibly justify that? It doesn't make any sense. There is no, and I know things go on for a long time. I know these things are, historical, but we can change. We don't have to be our history. We don't have to be those people. We don't have to do what has always been done. Anything is possible. Any change is possible. Every second of every day is a new opportunity to make a different choice. So I don't understand that level of hatred that would result in the solution being to bomb people, bomb innocent people. How can that ever be a solution? So yeah, and there's another thing I was going to speak about, which is incarceration, just quickly, because this is in relation to Jim Crow and voting. And I'll put these videos in as well because they're important. So basically, what I've after segregation was stopped, they basically just used incarceration as a method of silencing people. people that they wanted to be silenced. And as we know, prisoners are used as free labour as well. So it serves the capitalists' purpose. It serves the 1%. 1% fucking crazy. So it's like twofold. So they basically incarcerate ethnic minorities at a rate of I think it's 5 or 6 times that of a white person. And then when you're in prison, then you're essentially free labour for whoever. Because prison's a big business as well in itself. So they're taking away your rights. They're taking away your voting rights, so your voice isn't heard. Your in your state, in your country, if more ethnic minorities than white are being sent to prison, then that is a massive section out that can't vote, and that their voices aren't heard in terms of policy and who's in charge and what happens with the country. So there's that. Then there's all this complication of when you come out as well, you don't get your eye back, you don't get your ID, and again, so it's all part of this whole voting rights bill, voting right change, IDs. Yeah, they're just trying to stop certain people from certain parts of society from voting. Then when you're in prison, this is just from the research that I've done, it's not everywhere, but it is a lot of places. When you're in prison, you're then essentially free labour, and it is used in lots of places as free labour for these kind of companies. So they're making money off of you while you're in prison. Then you've got the fact that just the term in terms of the difference in sentencing, difference in bail for between whites and everyone else. Yeah, because generally speaking, ethnic minorities always get a much higher sentence for the same crime. So there's that. Then you've also got to think about crime, the incarceration rate difference between, what is it? And unfortunately, this is to do with I'm never going to find it, am I? Oh yeah, I am. Chris Hedges, the ruling elite. So back in, I can't remember what year it was now, but this is when Biden, it might have been Obama, even before that, omnibus crime bill, this is it, where mass incarceration started and exploitation of the prison population started. And this is that I think at the time there was only 300,000 people in prison, and they made this bill and they criminalised everything, So again, they're not actually caring about the people that they're serving. They're just putting them in prison regardless. Putting them in prison for crimes that people with money would get away with, and for drugs and things like that they themselves have researched to find as beneficial at that point. So just the whole thing of it is a joke. So they have 300,000 prisoners at this point, and across the United States this is, and they put through this bill, and in this time it's gone from 300,000 to over to whatever it is now, 2.5 million. So you've got a workforce for free for these greedy, don't give a shit about anyone anywhere American companies that are using those workforces for free. And then they don't want them to have the voting rights either. So they're changing the law to restrict voting without IDs and all of this kind of stuff. So you're working for the companies that make the money, you don't benefit from it, and they also don't want you to vote against them either. And people are being put in prison for crimes that really aren't crimes. They're just people in desperate situations. And rather than rehabilitation and helping people get out of situations that are painful, traumatic, lonely. Right now, with the amount of people that are all experiencing this together, i.e. all of us, we should all have a level of empathy for those times when you don't know what to do. Maybe you've drunk too much, maybe you've had an argument, maybe you've had whatever. You've lost your job, desperate. We should all be able to have a level of empathy for that situation, which would potentially lead to making a wrong decision. And if you've made a wrong decision as a result of, child abuse, not being loved when you're younger, sexual abuse, and these are things that are happening all the time to people everywhere. Being deserted, being abandoned, and those have lifelong effects. So people are already suffering. People are already not knowing how to deal with their emotions, and they're trying to escape that feeling by whatever means, and they're trying to survive. And everyone can make wrong decisions. And so rather than supporting these people, supporting us by rehabilitation, by giving some mental health support, by giving homes, food, love, they're incarcerated. And then incarcerated to somewhere where they're going to be used for free, as free labour. and into an environment where there's the potential, as the statistics say, where drug use is just going to continue if it's to do with drugs. And even if you weren't on drugs, you probably, if it's on tap, and then it's the corruption of the prison. It's like you're just trying to perpetuate this this addiction. And people just want to make money. People put money above lives every time. It's just so disgusting. We should be caring about each other, not out to destroy each other. So I'm thinking of a review. I've seen some funny videos today as well. I'm going to send some funnies. But I just feel like the UK government is just about as much use as a chocolate teapot at this point, because they're obviously just under the influence, let's just put it that way, under the influence of one. And it scares the living shit out of me that people don't care. People don't care about their rights being taken away. Just thinking, I don't even know what they're thinking. They're not thinking, that's the point, I don't think. Because Brexit is an absolute epic failure of gargantuan proportions. And that was a Conservative thing. Yet people are voting Conservative. They're also bringing in the similar sort of voting as in the US over here. Again, that's a bit odd, isn't it? They're talking about social care for adults, where 30,000 people died during the pandemic. But that was actually part of their original manifesto. So it's been 2 years and they've not done anything. Now they're not going to do it? No, of course they're not. None of these things have got dates against them. None of them have got timelines. None of them have got like, right, let's give you some KPIs. You're here to serve the people, not yourselves, yeah? So I want to know by what time, what year, what is the plan? I want to see the breakdown, and I want to see exactly what you're supposed to do when. And if you ain't doing it exactly to that, then you've got to go. And it's really as simple as that. Because all this wish-washy, oh yeah, we're planning to do this, talk, it means fuck all, clearly. Because they said in 2019, oh yeah, we really care about adult social care. And 2 years later, here we are, 30,000 people have died from their inability, their mismanagement, and lack of PPE, and lack of care fucking generally, and not having enough staff. I mean, just the list goes on. They've got 30 bills in the pipeline, and they've only given NHS staff, the ones that are on the front line dealing with this, they've only given them a 1% pay rise, and they haven't paid them any of their millions of hours of overtime. So, do they care? Do they care? I would say no. I would say absolutely not. All they care about is money. And that is a sad place to be. And what's the other thing that they did just recently? Oh yeah, that's it. COVID-19. They're going to do a COVID-19, guys, inquiry in spring 2022. That's really useful. Yeah, let's just keep pushing it out. Like, what the hell? That's not going to do nothing. Why are we waiting for a year for? People want to know now, not in years. Like, these people, I swear, they're so cray-cray. Anyway, we're all right. I think the most important thing is to just know yourself. Know the potential and the power that you have within yourself to do whatever the fuck you want. You don't even need to be part of this chaos, this nonsense. Because that's what it is. And more importantly, actually, this whole ivermectin thing. This, let's bear in mind the doctor said a year ago, March last year, he's been going on about this ivermectin. What's his name? Oh, I can't remember it offhand. But he has been going banging on about this because it saves lives. It saves lives. It reduces mortality to, I think, 0. It reduces time in hospital. It negates almost the need for intubation. Like if you have it, as soon as you get into hospital, you're going to be fine. And that's proven. So why then are they refusing to approve it to go on the guidelines? The WHO guidelines, the FDA, to all physicians everywhere. Is like, this is a first, port call. Like, use this first. As soon as they come in, give them that. India, what's going on in India? They could all have ivermectin. It's cheap. It's widely available. Why aren't they doing it? They've literally got blood on their hands every day that passes. Every day that has passed since this guy went into the Senate to say that this should be used and why, and the research behind it and the evidence behind it from March last year, how many lives would have been saved? So every government everywhere that has refused to use it has blood on their hands. Every hospital, every physician, every regulatory body, every government, you have blood on your hands. Because there is a drug that's out there that's cheap, that is available to everyone, everywhere, that saves lives. and this nonsensical refusal to change is just bizarre. It's just proving that you don't actually care about the health of the people of the world. All you care about is money. So I think that's me done. I think that's me done for my slightly more mellow, going with the mellow and the love vibes, because I think that feeling of just being, knowing that someone's out there that loves you is healing, and it makes it easier to tackle anything, any circumstance, any challenge, any obstacle, any mountain, anything. And I just want everyone to have that feeling. Just know that the universe is on our side. The universe has our backs. The good will always overcome. And that you are not alone. And that you are loved. So, namaste. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Love you.